welcome back to another YouTube video of FlareFX, where we make trading very simple. Now in this week we'll be breaking down NASDAQ and USDJPY. Actually the USDJPY was a suggestion by a guy that met me outside. I'm surprised you guys actually noticed me in public, so shout out. I'm gonna be doing NASDAQ and USDJPY, so it's always jam-packed with gems. You guys already know. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button, guys. Like, comment, share, comment down the pair that you guys want to see. I heard you guys said you wanted to see a day in a life. Maybe let's get this video to 15 likes. 15 likes, we would do a day in the life of a forex trader or Mr. Flair. You get what I mean? But nonetheless, let's get into the video. Yo, you guys already know how we like to do things. We'll come into the Discord. We are growing, guys. 31 guys in the Discord now. It's nice, always nice to have more, the family growing more and more, right? During the week I sent my a trade that I took GU, right? One of the students, Snowflakes, also posted a setup on what do you call this, Euro USD. I managed to show him different types of ways that how you could execute as well, and he did get triggered in. But to give a shout out to some of the new guys that I would see, Dero23, Cody is another guy, Bruce One is a new guy that I've seen. Even this number, the guy with the numbers, right? So it's always good to have you guys. Please make sure to what is this, send your analysis on the Discord so we can help each other, you get what I mean? But nonetheless, let's move into it. All right, and you already know how we like to do the Instagram situation. My Instagram is flat.fx_, right? This is the only one I have, guys. I know there's a lot of people that are scamming. This is a page where I post a lot of my setups, a lot of my breakdowns, you know, even the snippets that we post, you get what I mean? But nonetheless, this is the only account I have, so make sure that you don't follow any scammers. All right, so this is NASDAQ, right? On the 4-hour time frame, I just want to really bring back the drawing so we can explain what we were seeing last week and how price reacted, you get what I mean? So I'll remove a lot of the things that we drew up last week, like this, like that, right? So last week our prediction was that NASDAQ was going to come into the 75% zone and then sell off, right? In that case, price didn't eventually come to our entry point, so we were a bit patient, especially when I saw price doing this. In my head, I'm already thinking, you know, liquidity, let me just do it like this, a buildup of liquidity basically over here, right? So it doesn't mean our setup is necessarily done for, it's just that you have to be really more patient, you get what I mean? But nonetheless, I think for me, what I'm really paying attention to is how it approaches this zone over here, right? Because it also is a point of reference. I'll just use this thing again. Boom, boom, boom. Look at the top over there, right? So this is a very good reversal zone. And I highlighted this order block mainly because it's the one that really started this move all the way up, right? We could highlight this one and just trade off of that. But I mean, with NASDAQ, I just understand that it is a long-term thing, right? And I'm planning on buying it. I'm looking for more buy setups because mainly it is a pair that's just buying. Look, all of this, like, all of this is just high momentum rising, you get what I mean? So I'm just waiting for it to get to this point over here, then I could snatch in a few buys, right? Be like a bit more conservative, but nonetheless, like, NASDAQ is looking really nice, hence why I brought it back this week, right? It doesn't mean that the setup didn't play out, that it's automatically deemed as we can cut it off. Just understand that sometimes the market is a bit slower, especially maybe in month end, and now we're heading into the end of the first quarter. So guys, understand, like, you gotta be patient, especially with indices, and just sit on your hands, especially for these types of setups, you get what I mean? But nonetheless, it is a good clean looking pair. There's a lot of breaks of structures that you can clearly see. The high has been formed, the low has been formed, mitigation of an order block over here has been respected, and a nice order block has been printed over here, right? So for me, I'm just really anticipating to see how it is going to open on Monday, right? Price could even push up to our order block over here and just continue flying down all the way to the 4-hour zone over here, right? We end up respecting that and push higher, right? A change of character can happen. Price could come back. We get a second entry, as we always do, right? And then price pushes all the way to the top. But nonetheless, that's NASDAQ. Let's head over to USDJPY. It's also looking really nice, guys. All right, so we are tapping into USDJPY, right? This is on the daily time frame. Like, it's a pair that I haven't traded in a while, and you guys know, like, for me personally, if it's a pair that I haven't traded in a while, I like to dabble around like the higher time frames, you get what I mean? See how price moves, see if it respected any order blocks, does it work with our strategy, things like that, right? But mainly because it has been a highly suggested one, we can clearly see this is on the daily time frame. Price pushed up all the way over here, came back to respect this order block over here. Let me see something. We'll highlight the highs and the lows. Boom, boom. I just want to see if price does respect the level, right? Okay, cool. Price does respect it. This is an order block that we can clearly see. It looks very similar to the NASDAQ as patient as we're waiting, right? I'm anticipating that it's gonna respect it like this, right? Obviously it's the market, guys. We're really just people who speculate more than just take trades out of assumption, right? And then price move over here, respected this low, pushed up all the way to the high, right? So I'll come in, mark it with my pen, my marker right on the way to the top over here, right? So now with this zone over here, we can't really necessarily mark it out as a high per se, because there hasn't been any really push down. Obviously, maybe if we tap into the lower time frames, we'll kind of see the changes of character happening, and then we can really understand that price has is reversing. But for now, I'll tap in with the Fibonacci tool as well, maybe head over to the lower time frame to see how it looks like. But we could expect price, if it was a situation of selling, maybe deeper into this zone, respecting this order block, so to say. But we'll see when we go to the lower time frames, right? So we'll tap into the 4-hour time frame. So with the 4-hour time frame, it is looking really nice, especially on the lower time frames in the zone, right? It's a zone that I'm anticipating. And as well, like, even if you could pull, even if I could take this just to show you a point of reference, it's a very good what do you call the support zone, right? We can mark it over here, push price all the way there. As you can clearly see, this is a zone that price has been bouncing in and out of, right? So labeling it as a good support zone is a good thing in terms of reversals, because that's what we're looking for, right? But now the main thing I'm interested in is to see if there's any change of character, right? We could even trade ourselves from here all the way to the downside over here, right, in the level that we're predicting, right? So maybe let me tap into the 1-hour time frame. Good to kind of see what's happening, like deeper, right? So as you can clearly see, price has pushed up, made this high, pushed lower, and then it's been playing around the zone basically. Like, as much as it is, let me just highlight it, the box, there's a whole lot of ranging here, right? But automatically for me, there's certain things that I look for, especially in these types of range, that really spark my eye, right? So already you can clearly see, let me just zoom in 2 seconds, this zone over here, right? There's so much confluences that I see, right? Before we even tap into here, already you can see that there's been a purge of liquidity over here, right? That is already sign number one of a good confluence of an entry, right? And then the purge of liquidity happened over here relatively just before the strong move. So it's already ticking a lot of my boxes. Let me just move everything, yeah, like this, right? So there's another purge of liquidity relatively over here. There's a strong move, price did change character and broke a bit of structure over here, right? So we can clearly see that, yeah, maybe like a reversal is starting on what do you call this, USDJPY. So the guy that did suggest, you are already seeing something really nice, right? And a couple of my clients as well have been analyzing this a lot. Let me just highlight this order block, right? I'll just change this out. Boom, boom, like that, right? Boom, boom, like that. Like that, right? So for USDJPY, this is a very good thing, because even if you can highlight it with the thing, this is a good pattern, and there's a whole lot of resting liquidity over here. So price could even pump up and respect the zone, right? Obviously take profit one could be relatively over here. It is a safer option, mainly because of the order block over here, and I mean, you could swing it for sure, like most definitely all the way to the low over here. But for me, I've learned to understand with the certain pairs that I don't trade like that, I wouldn't want to swing something I'm not comfortable with, so hence I'm gonna take a step back. But in terms of what I'm anticipating for USDJPY, I would want to take a sell relatively on this order block that I've spotted on the 1-hour time frame. My stop loss just be above this high of the order block, right? Take profit just below this this whole rectangle, or we could tap into relatively this order block over here, mainly because it's the one that has a strong push and is the one that pushed this liquidity, as you get what I mean. So now my anticipation is boom, 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 price comes in, it respects this order block, right, and then flies down all the way to the bottom, right? Obviously for a retest, we get a second entry if we're patient enough, guys. You understand, scaling in is something that we can do if the opportunity presents itself, you get what I mean. Then price just slowly retraces down for TP, right? TP1 would probably be this zone over here, mainly because of the resting liquidity. It's a safe one, right? I think this is let's see what's the risk to reward. Relatively, one is to say 1 is to 2 or 2.5. Relatively, it is like you are making profit. A lot of us like 1 is to 3s, or 1 is to 4s. They are very good for risk to reward ratio, but nonetheless it's looking really nice. Let's see if we can refine this entry though. Let's see if we can refine it, and if I do want to, of course you can. You could use this auto block relative over here if your account is not as of size. You get what I mean? You could plan on taking the trade like that, but for me, I think it looks really nice, guys. On the hour time frame, you could use this pin bar that you can clearly see over here. This is also a good one. Like, as much as it is, I wouldn't be against taking this as well. It's looking really clean, and with that one, your risk to reward ratio goes up significantly, because now look, that becomes a 1:5, right? And then the initial take profit becomes a 1:8. You see? So if it is a situation where you get tapped in, managing this trade accordingly, really being patient, because UJ is a relatively slow moving pair at certain times, and then you get these types of movements. So being attentive and being like paying attention to this type of pair is really what gets you that paper. But nonetheless, it's Mr. Flair. We had another week, guys. Please make sure to comment, like, share to your friends. If you're liking this video, make sure to send to your buddy so they can also see how to trade SMC the easiest way, with the easy guys. You get what I mean? The Flair team, Flair effects. But nonetheless, it's Mr. Flair.